Hello everybody, welcome to Rich's Realm. Hello Realmers, welcome back. So, read a few comments on yesterday's video, and yeah, it does seem like a lot of people have kind of fallen off their enjoyment of the game. I'm still going to continue on, and I will be covering what we're going to be doing on Rich's Realm in the future, because there's some ideas and some changes that myself and Em are going to be putting in place, which you'll probably see at the start of April, but between now and then, I'm still going to be like playing and intermittently kind of recording content on the game. So let's crack on as we do. And what am I doing in this video? Well, it's kind of like part World Quest footage, part thing about regen gear. Now, something that I haven't been doing, and I kind of regret this decision, is I've been scrapping a lot of gear that's got regen abilities in it. And the biggest thing about that and why that's so important is that, you know, I don't hugely and extensively in the last couple of weeks have grinded out the game. And I kind of feel like when it comes to some of these world quests and the way that Kabam are increasing the difficulty nature, which, look, is helping out those right at the top have something challenging competitive in order to do. But for where I am, where I'm kind of like finding normal too easy and heroic just that little bit too difficult, trying to stay alive is a bit of a difficult one for me at the moment. So what can I do? What's the kind of like the way of getting around this? And fortunately and unfortunately, it is regen gear, and that's the kind of the biggest thing that I would say. My gear's not really there just yet with being improved for certain champions. Spidey, good gear. Iron Man, kind of good gear there. Iron Legionnaire, good gear. Sorcerer Supreme, I'm happy with the gear, and I'm sort of happy with the gear of Storm. More so with Storm though. So unfortunately that's only 4 champions out of my 7 that I've got that I'm actually happy with the gear and the way that it rolls and the way that it works. And here's the thing, and we're going to show some footage in a minute of World Quest Heroic. The thing about this with regen gear is survivability and sustainability. If you do not have the top gear, and if you aren't having those best synergies and the survivability from that kind of amazing or kind of better rare to epic gear, then you're going to have to find a way of keeping yourself alive. Now, if it's a case that you need to regen, which this world quest did not have that, where, you know, we had the previous world quest, you were able to regen. And this one, not so much. Even worse when you've got a bugged Iron Man or Iron Legionnaire, which is now, I think it's fixed, where as well he would fly up in the air for many seconds and wasting a load of time. Because that's fun and enjoyable stuff that Kabam want to put in. It's a challenge. It's a challenge as well to waste time. Who knew it? But look, sarcasm aside, let's focus on why regen gear is important. And I would say we need to have separate regen gear within our build of champions. Not to say that like go, okay, we need a full regen set. It's just a case of having regen gear there to be an option. Now, I need to find my piece of regen gear that I've got on some of my, I don't think it's weaponry, but I think it might even be like the, is it going to be this one? Is it going to be on my cloak? No, there it is. So even though that it's like, I will switch out for this. Currently, I would run the Realm Reaver set because I'm looking to kind of like work some stuff in, especially with what it does. But if I'm doing a world quest or something that doesn't give back the if it's not going to give back any regen, then I need something for this. And I would say, and I advise anybody, if you do have a piece of regen set, keep it. If you're thinking about getting rid of it, don't. Just keep it on there. If you keep it on there, it is going to be so handy to help. If you are finding that from the top end, you're not able to help out, you're not able to be there with everybody else. And as well with this kind of like staying alive narrative, which is a cool challenge, by the way. I'm not enjoying it because I don't have those champions with that little bit of regen gear. So let's kind of put this into practice. What the hell am I talking about? If you've reached this far and gone, what the heck is he talking about? Well, I'm just going to like showcase now some footage of that world quest that I did, and as well how I'm kind of finding this whole situation. So let's play the video. So the first thing to note is that shout out to Slayer and Batazay as well for being around and helping out with this, because it's tough. Like if you don't, as I said, if you don't have the gearing for this, it does become annoying. Same thing with Hulk. Like I want the synergy groups for Hulk. I've just not pulled them, and it sucks because I do want to, you know, be up there and be as competitive as possible. So the first thing you can see is like I'm being a bit cautious and also kind of like dipping in, dipping out because I wanna get the survivability for this. I want to get that extra rare because like that's going to be helpful for like gear acquisition. But you can see there are like little sixes going around, 6, which I can't. Slayer's got it, and because I've not taken any damage just yet, which I will do in a second, it will start kind of like coming in. And again, it just boils down to sustainability. Something that if you do not have, and I will repeat this time and time again, if you don't have the synergies applicable or you don't have the gear strength, you're going to have to adapt and overcome. So far, I've not been able to do this with Hulk and with Black Panther because I don't have those synergies. I've come very close to doing it with my weak gear from Hulk and as well from Black Panther. But it does mean for the majority of the fight, these are two up close and personal kind of fights. And whereas my Storm is distance, I can keep my distance and still kind of like ticking those regens because like I can do that. But it doesn't work all of the time, does it? So it's a good thing that having a ranged-based champion, which we have here, is just keeping distance and I'm building up health. As well, I think Slayer's got the synergy with the gauntlets where you're able to, in rage, build back some health, but also maximized more because of the health regen he has. So you know, it's a case like, you know, he's got a really decent build on his Hulk, which you got to rate, you got to love. But yeah, I mean, look at this situation here. We're kind of like, I think that I was down a lot more health than I was before. So like building this back up is just nice. That survivability is just key. And that's the problem that I have. And I kind of wish, well, I don't know. I can't remember of all the 3,000 pieces of gear that I've scrapped. Have I indeed scrapped something that is a regen piece of gear? Because man, I'm gutted if I have done that, because this is scenarios where yes, you have to adapt and overcome and create like health regen stuff, but it does become annoying. And what we're doing here is we're keeping distance from these things. Well, I'm keeping distance and trying to like hit in where I can, and making sure to kind of like be of assistance as much as possible. But you know, trying to keep alive. That's the main thing. And I don't want to health bar watch all the time because then that kind of like sucks the fun out of it. But world quests are very, very important things for the gear that you get back from it. Keeping my distance there, evading, because as soon as those circles come, I want to be able to kind of keep my distance. And in a second, I want to try and like, there we go, Unstoppable's gone, he's doing that. And now's a good opportunity to come in. And then, oh, I get unlucky there with that. Some things like, I do get a lot of bad luck with this whenever I kind of like time it, or kind of I'm going for something, and then all of a sudden it goes into that Unstoppable. So it's a little bit, that's one of the things I found a bit annoying, was like, you kind of go, okay, I'll launch my SP3 of Hulk. Oh, wait a minute, he's just done his thing that now just kind of like does his thing, and now I've just lost all my health and died. So that's the kind of annoying. It's like, you have to be unstoppable all the time prior to doing any kind of attack. Very frustrating. But yeah, this was somewhat enjoyable because of that regen, which, you know, is ticking at 6 a time, keeping me alive as much as possible. We're going to go into the SP3, freeze a lot of them in place, which is nice, and then throw the SP2 down, throw the SP1 down, and try and freeze up some of these bad boys. As soon as we've got that last one done, there should be a case that we can then do Hulk. I don't do Iron Legionnaire, which we can, and there we go. Health goes down. Do a big heavy attack, hopefully. Nope, not enough time. And there we go. That has been it. And I keep myself alive, and as well, that's mission completed, and that's how I managed to grab that 50%, not 50%, the without dying thing. And I just think that that's the thing. You're going to have to set up some regen pieces of gear. So if you ever get a chance to have one there, keep it. Do not scrap it. Keep it there, because if Command are going to roll out stuff like this, that's a little bit challenging. And as well, slightly unfair with different narratives, aka the Iron Legionnaire that buggers off for a good chunk of the fight, and then when he comes down, he either kind of like throws that cage, and if you're kind of there like, oh great, I'm slowed, we try and get out the way of that, just like, oh, thanks for that. Also when it's bugged, because it was bugged as well. But yeah, keep your regen gear. Do not delete it, or at least keep one piece. because it will allow you to heal up. 2 pieces possibly. That's going to be up to you, but I think the 1 piece would probably be fine, especially to roll into your build of champions. And that's really been the video. Thanks very much for watching. See you very soon. Bye bye.